The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com. So I'm like, wait a second, Rachel's got a whole closet of shoes, so I go running in there. I grab some flip-flops or something. No, I grab her Crocs, her Haunted Mansion Crocs. And now I'm like,
spooky.
Yeah, I'm standing on something that's not extremely stable for me, but I'm trying to go for it. So I take another whack. Well, by this time now she knows what's going on. She sees me on a chair with a rickety chair with her Croc. And she sees the spider. She's like, you better kill it. I said, that's what I'm working on. But I said it I said, baby, that's what I'm working on. Because I had to.
You became Barry Manilow all of a sudden?
Exactly. She likes that. She really likes that.
She likes when you act like a homosexual man?
No, when I talk with a deep voice. No.
I think we were talking about impersonating Barry Manilow. I was like, I don't know if that would be attractive to.
Well, that's not Barry Manilow. That's
Barry White.
What's that? Wrong Barry.
I get my berries confused.
Hey, to each their own.
My electrolytes, guys. Okay.
I also don't believe the fact that you were standing on a rickety chair, Scott, because you're rich. You don't own rickety chairs.
Yeah, well, any chair Scott stands on becomes rickety. Let's be honest.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Come on, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted at number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Instagram, the Facebook, the TikTok, the Snapchat, the YouTube, all of our social media links are right there on our website. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, you can check out our really sweet merchandise and also join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits and be able to watch these episodes as we're recording live. You can have access to cutting room floor and also some new content with Dane from Big Beautiful Diz and myself. You don't want to miss that stuff. It's a lot of fun. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, she's the Queen Rapscallion, Mary.
Mary.
Our other co-host, the scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
It's alive!
Frankenstein or Young Frankenstein.
Good guess, but this was actually not a movie quote. This is what your wife says to you at 30 minutes after you take Viagra.
All right. And our producer, Alex.
Hey, how we doing?
So, speaking of that joke, that's really funny. Mary, how do you feel about spiders?
What? It's actually funny that you should ask me that, because Zoe, today, while we were waiting for Dexter at his bus stop, we didn't miss the bus. We were waiting.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, the bus was dropping him off, so it'd be really bad if we missed it. She asked me what if I would be willing to do a few things for $5 billion. And one of them was be in a room with a bunch of spiders for 6 hours.
What's a bunch? Define a bunch.
Like hundreds.
That's not a bunch. That's hundreds.
So it's like hundreds of spiders, hundreds of snakes, or the other one was real dumb. It was like, a throwaway. Of course I'd pick that. And then she was like, no, you got to pick between the spiders and the snakes.
What was your answer?
Spiders, because I can just stomp them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
river
the
dance.
snakes, I would, no. Mm-mm. No, they could constrict my ass. That sounds kinky.
Chris, how do you feel about spiders?
Not a big fan of spiders, actually, Scott.
I am no longer a fan of spiders. I used to like spiders.
You were? You liked them?
I used to like them, yeah. I used to like spiders.
What about them do you like? Is it you're into legs? Well, Rachel does have long legs.
She's got some legs. Yes, I am into legs. Not spider legs, though. That's going to be a whole new joke now that I'm into spiders. But I think they're cool creatures. I love the way that they move. I especially prefer them like in a glass box at the zoo or something when it's those big tarantulas. I no longer like spiders, Mary. In fact, I hate them. And
welcome to the club. We have a handshake. It's like this.
Yeah. But it's for a much different reason than what you may think, or probably a much different reason than you guys. So
I don't know. Try me.
Oh, well, the other night,
It crawled up your butt.
No,
Okay.
nothing traumatic like that.
Sounds-
I get a text message from Rachel. She's upstairs, I'm downstairs, and she says, I think you should come upstairs. Little heart, wink emoji,
Oh,
eggplant.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an eggplant?
Like,
Wow.
yep. So, I reach into my wallet, I grab my Costco card. I'm ready. I almost shattered my ankle running up the stairs, like, because I wasn't wearing shoes and I didn't bother to put them on. So, like, I'm in
Why
my
would you-
socks sliding all over the place.
You're in your own home. Why would you throw on the Crocs? Put them in sport mode. Let's go.
So I'm running up the stairs, and she's like in the bathroom finishing up her nighttime routine, and I'm like, if I had shoes, I would have kicked it off. I would have done the whole
You're like laying
Bruce
on the
Almighty
bed.
thing.
Yeah,
just,
you're like...
right. Well, but I couldn't get to the bed because as I walk in, I look over the TV in our bed, and there's a gigantic spider on the wall. Gigantic.
Oh.
At least a half dollar size, which is a big spider, right? I mean, that's
Sure.
a big spider.
What was the girth?
It was mostly body. It was mostly body with it wasn't like a daddy long legs where the legs are like
creepy.
3 miles long. It
So
was like,
thick. She was thick.
yeah, she was
Wow.
thick. It was like a wolf spider and all that.
Was it hot,
So-
Scott?
That's why
Stop
I'm
it.
wondering. He was like, she was
What was
thick
it?
and she had some legs.
Yeah.
What was it
Eight of
wearing?
them.
So-
What'd you do? Please say it didn't escape to where you couldn't find it. Please say no.
So I yelled at Rachel, and I'm like, "Hey, stay
No,
in the
don't
bathroom
tell
for a
her.
little bit." It's Costco time. I'm not going to do anything. The
No,
the
because she may
moons
not
and
have
the
seen it. You should have
I know,
turned her
I
to
know.
where her back was
That-
towards the spider.
Well, that I said, babe, just stay in the bathroom for a few minutes. I've got to prepare myself. And
You have never
she-
been that thoughtful. She knew something was going on. That's
well, so I grab we've got the curtain rod which is not attached to anything. It's there because it's up in the seal. It's like at the crease of
you
the ceiling and the
removed your
wall.
curtains.
No, they
Excessive.
it was just a rod that was there. The curtains weren't there. I couldn't
Oh,
reach it
it's
with
like
the.
yeah.
I have other
Yeah, just a
questions
spare
to
rod.
follow
It was-
up with later.
Just a spare
What do you
rod,
do with
Mary.
that?
Bend over and I'll show you.
Nothing that we can talk about.
We can't talk about. Oh God!
So I can't reach it the traditional, pull off the crock and again, I don't have my shoes. Okay, I left them downstairs in a hurry to get upstairs before
Do you not
she
have
falls
shoes
asleep.
in your bedroom?
No, they're all downstairs, Mary.
That's your problem for abandoning your house crocs, Scott.
Well, that I know. This is why I always keep my house Crocs on. Like my house Crocs stay upstairs with me.
Disappointing.
That's the only pair of shoes that I have. So I'm grabbing this curtain rod because it's the only. Even if I had
What
the
did
shoes, I
you
couldn't
think you were
reach
going to
it.
do with the curtain rod? It's not thick enough.
No, this one's pretty thick. I was just going to time it right and just jam them. Just jam them.
Just gam 'em? Is that a word?
Jam,
Oh, I
jam.
said
Just
gam.
jam them. So, but again, it's over my TV, so I can't stand on. There's nothing for me to stand on. I can't reach him with the traditional shoe.
No, see, you just grab a book, you grab something, you just throw it. Scott, do you remember that one time I called you on FaceTime because there was a spider in my house? I needed emotional support, and we both were screaming because it kept running away.
This curtain rod's not long enough. What is it? A curtain rod for ants, Scott?
Yeah,
Why
like,
can't
no,
it-
No, the
it
curtain-
wasn't one for spiders because it wasn't
you're-
working.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. The shoes weren't going to work. I wasn't going to be able to reach it with the shoe if I had the shoe.
Okay.
The curtain rod does. The curtain rod does reach.
Oh, so it does
So-
reach, okay.
Meanwhile, Rachel doesn't know what's going on, and I don't want her to know what's going on because I don't want to ruin Costco time. So,
Right, 'cause you don't have 8 other bedrooms.
That's
Listen,
yeah,
Chris.
he makes a valid point.
Mm.
You
listen,
could be like, let's
Chris,
get a little weird tonight. Let's
A bathtub.
yeah.
Chris, listen. When
Backyard.
Or
Rachel,
backyard, make it romantic.
when Rachel is ready to go to Costco, it's like I don't want to move anything. I don't want to breathe the wrong way. Everything is going perfect. I don't want anything to stand in the way of going to Costco, which is why I don't stop to move the dog off the bed, which we've established. We just continue on with the process.
I still have a hard time with it. I don't.
So Mary, I'm ready for battle. Okay. I am holding this curtain rod just like, a Spartan warrior.
Did you have pants on?
Like Bubba Job in the bush.
Like Bubba Job. Barely. But I'm in a t-shirt and boxers, ready to,
Oh man.
Did you have socks on?
I did. Of course I had socks on. Mary, if I could shower with my socks on, I would shower with my socks. So I am like getting ready to throw the spear at the lion. I am channeling my inner Bubba Job, and I take a whack at the spider. Well, of course I miss. So now he's moving.
Now
and
he
Rachel's
moved,
like,
and
"Whoa."
Rachel hears the commotion.
Yeah. Well, Rachel's like, what was that? And I said, well, my size. I hit a chair.
Just clicked.
Yeah, there you go. So I quickly
It's funny because it's not true.
So now this is kind of reachable. So I'm like, wait a second. Rachel's got a whole closet of shoes, so I go running in there. I grab some flip flops or something. No, I grab her Crocs, her Haunted Mansion Crocs. And now I'm like,
spooky.
Yeah, I'm standing on something that's not extremely stable for me, but I'm trying to go for it. So I take another whack. Well, by this time now she knows what's going on. She sees me on a chair with a rickety chair with her Croc, and she sees the spider. She's like, you better kill it. I said, that's what I'm working on. But I said it I said, baby, that's what I'm working on, because I had
You became Barry Manilow all of a sudden.
Exactly. She likes that. She really likes that.
She likes when you act like a homosexual man?
No, when I talk with a deep voice. No.
I think we were talking about impersonating Barry Manilow. I was like, I don't know if that would be attractive to.
Well, that's not Barry Manilow. That's
Barry White.
What's that? Wrong Barry.
I get my berries confused.
Hey, to each their own.
My electrolytes, guys. Okay.
I also don't believe the fact that you were standing on a rickety chair, Scott, because you're rich. You don't own rickety chairs.
Yeah, well, any chair Scott stands on becomes rickety. Let's be honest.
So I'm standing. She's like, you better get it. I'm like, I'm working on it, baby. So
I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, exactly. So I take another whack. Of course I miss again. But now he has fallen behind the dresser that we have, that the TV sits on. So I see him. And I grab the curtain rod again. So I'm going back into battle with this curtain rod. And I'm just jam, trying to get him. I lose him. I have no idea where he is.
Oh, no.
Every time I put on a shirt, I have to shake it out. But I can't tell Rachel that I don't know where it is, because she's like, well, did you get him? And again, I want to go to Costco. I don't want her thinking about this spider joining us in bed with the dog while we're going to Costco.
I don't know.
So I'm
it sounds like it might be something that would spice things up a little bit. I don't know.
I don't know about that. So without hesitation, I'm like, yep, I got him. He's dead.
She lied.
It's great.
I respect that.
I mean, how many times has Scott had to lie to get some, you know what I mean?
Every single time, Mary. Every single time. Every single partner in my life. It's all been lies. So anyway, I almost got cock blocked by a spider, but I prevailed. I prevailed.
Wow, you prevailed.
I prevailed. I allegedly killed the spider. But yeah.
Very brave of you.
It is.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Except
that night I did wear a cape, and that was all.
Oh, you dog.
He wishes there was a dog. Yeah.
I don't want to get you too excited.
Stop. So anyway, me, one spider also won because I didn't kill him. He's still alive in my house. And again, I have to shake out my shirt, shake out my boxers.
You have a voyeur spider. He's probably in the corner, just like, oh yeah, what's next?
Got the pervert spider in your thing.
When Rachel and I fall asleep, him and my dog are, smoking a cig. That was.
He's just up in the corner. You guys just wink at each other after.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy. Well, yeah, because I looked like a hero that night. So, now she was really charged up, ready to go. And
What's the lifespan of a spider, Scott? Like a couple days, right? So like 30 seconds to a spider is like hours. So it's like you gave him like hours worth of content there.
What can he say? He's a content creator.
He has 8 hands to work with.
Exactly. So I do hate spiders now as a result of this.
Well, that's I didn't need any of that. I needed to hate spiders. I hated them to begin with, but you've helped fuel my rage. Maybe.
Right. And guys, hell has frozen over. There's a blue moon out. Mary just responded on the Discord.
Yeah, I have 84 unread things on here since the last time I've checked in. But I remembered I had the app, and I was like, oh, I should probably say hi. New year, not new me.
New year, new me.
New real rapscallion. That's what I am.
Real quick before we go to break, how was everybody's New Year? Mary, how was it?
We had family over. I almost vomited on my sister, so that was cool. That was really good.
Well, you're going to tell us about that in the next segment, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can fill you in all my holiday shenanigans.
Okay, so then
that's totally fine.
We'll hold that for the next segment. Chris, how was your New Year's?
Don't remember a second of it, Scott, so I guess it was pretty damn good.
Sounds good.
So now your entire family thinks Emily's pregnant. Got it. Did you spend it in the contact paper house?
I did, actually. We played Rock Band. It was a riveting night. It was the perfect night for someone in their mid-20s, playing Rock Band with the family. It was crazy and wild night, Scott.
Oh, well, good for you. Good for you. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, looking for another way to listen to the No New Friends podcast? We are now featured on Glacier FM. That's GLACER FM.com. Just go to the music channels and go to Glacier Underground. That is Glacier, GLACER. And you can hear us Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that is GlacierFM.com.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Remy, from Remy's Roundtable. Remy's Roundtable is a podcast for all of our listeners who would like to know what's going on here in the beautiful state of Florida, whether it has to be the Florida theme parks, the Florida sports, and of course we cover your top Florida headlines. We also bring the 5-Minute Professor every single month to give us our lecture and quiz on any topic that we would like to learn. So guys, do not go anywhere. You are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. I don't know why I said it like that.
We both made the same.
What was that?
I don't know.
Wow.
Did you have a stroke?
Podcast. Yeah.
Mary, you want to quit? I'll quit right now.
Because there was like 4 other things that I had on my mind, and it just came out like that. So real quick, before Mary talks about her story, I want to talk about Patreon real quick and what it is. Chris, why should people join our clubhouse and become a friend with benefits?
All jokes aside, Patreon's a really cool way to support content creators that you enjoy, content creators that you like to hear. I first learned about Patreon through DizHiz, and I heard one of their ads for Patreon. It's a really small way that you can help support the show. I was like a couple $1 a month Patreon member, and I can tell you now, as a host on a show, that every dollar counts, and every dollar does get reinvested back into the show. These shows do cost money. It's hard to believe, being a listener, that shows cost money. What they do, the software we use, the equipment we use, everything does cost money. So every single dollar helps, and Patreon's an awesome way to help support the shows that you love. But the cool thing about Patreon itself is that if you go to our website, no new friends, podcast.com, and you click the link,
it's
Patreon,
no new
what is it?
friends
Clubhouse?
podcast.com, it's no new friends podcast.com, not no new friends, podcast.com. If you put the,
Thank you
in
for
there,
clarifying.
it's not going to get you to the right
What's
website.
the link that they would click? Does it say Patreon or does it say
It
No
says
New
join
Friends
Clubhouse. It's Clubhouse.
Okay, so if you would click join Clubhouse, it will take you to our Patreon page. And for as little as $2 a month, and like I said, every dollar helps. For as little as $2 a month, you start to get benefits. And that's where this whole Patreon thing that you might not even know what it is comes into play. So there's different tiers on Patreon. There's $2, there's $5, there's $10, there's $20. You select your tier. Each tier has benefits. So for as little as $2 a month, you get to come to our Discord and become a member of the No New Friends Clubhouse. What does that entail? Well, at $2 a month, you get to watch our shows completely live. There's so much that gets cut out of the show, and you would not believe it until you actually saw it. When I first became a Patreon member for a podcast, I started watching the live shows and I was addicted to them because it's so fun. You get to comment during the show. You hear your host say your name, which is just fun. You hear the host say your jokes that you're typing in. We use a lot of jokes that our Patreon members write in Discord while we're recording the show, and we credit them. But it's really a lot of fun to be a Patreon member. And I'm in the position that I am in today, being a host of this show because of Patreon, honestly. I became a patron of Diz His, and then I became friends with the hosts of Diz His. And then, I found Scott and Mary. So Patreon, it's this, what Patreon really does is, yes, the money helps us a lot, but the community that Patreon helps create is really, really cool. And me, Scott and Mary, all of us have found honestly lifelong friends because of Patreon. Which is, I'm making it sound like it's a bit like it's this crazy intense thing, because it is. Because I've made a lot of lifelong friends across the country because of Patreon, and it cost me like $2 for a friend. So it was. So listen, if you're lonely,
whoa, where is this going?
For $2 a month, you can have a friend. No, seriously, all jokes aside, Patreon's super cool. We appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate all our listeners. When you take it one step further and start pledging a couple dollars a month, it's just it's really cool, and it really does help the show.
This is a booster-thon.
I know,
Scott's rich, but he's not that rich.
Exactly. Thank you, Chris. And look, we're coming up with all sorts of new ideas and different things that we can put in Patreon. Dane and I are doing some stuff.
Guys, hold on. How are you able to record and pay attention and talk and read?
So
this
Mary
at the same
just
time?
discovered the Discord chat while we're recording and all the funny jokes that go on.
The Schrodinger's cat and Anne Hayes.
Who would win, Schrodinger's cat or Anne Heche? So that's, again, just examples of some things that you get to see when we're live recording. Is you get to see all these jokes, and it's a lot of fun, man, and
it's great.
We don't want to just take the money. We want to provide some value in return.
Listen, we love taking your money, but we also love providing you a reason to give us your money.
I was hoping you were going to say a service because it would have sounded better. But.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Patreon members got to hear me call my wife a really bad name last week.
It's true.
So true. Mary, you threw up on your sister.
What a segue. I didn't throw up on her. I did a good job. I caught it in my plate before it got on her. But yeah,
that's
and my
worse.
Yeah,
you
my
ruined
sister
all that food.
Is expecting, and so her sense of smell is heightened.
She's expecting vomit.
Who is expecting?
My sister. Oh no, my sister is having a baby.
I feel like she's always pregnant.
Her other baby is 1.5 now. Jameson's 18 months old.
As long as I've known you, as long as you're
basically,
pregnant, I feel like.
Hold on. I saw pictures of Jameson, Aloysius, barbecue, bacon, waffles, and
he's so cute.
He's got a big long name. He's bigger than Chris.
It's not hard.
I was like,
no,
oh wow,
he's actually very slight in stature. But yes, you're right. He's still bigger than Chris, but he's very handsome. So my sister is pregnant, and her sense of smell is heightened.
That's what happens?
So, yeah, that happens sometimes.
I want to get pregnant. That's awesome.
No, it's terrible, especially if your sister is sitting next to you and she vomits. Because you can understand maybe that could start a chain reaction. But I
doesn't really happen in the movies. You get one person vomit and then everybody vomits. That doesn't really happen in real life.
It did well.
Unless you have a heightened sense of smell.
Well, yeah, and you're
It
pregnant.
didn't happen because she's a damn good person. But I almost just ruined the whole night.
Yeah, other than you, who is vomiting on New Year's Eve all over plates and stuff of food.
I caught it. You know what? I didn't want to make a mess. Okay, it was a nice party.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little inconsiderate, but then very considerate.
Very
to carry
considerate.
around a throw up plate with you.
I ran to the bathroom. I actually almost kicked the baby over as I was running to the bathroom. He was in the way.
Sacrifices must be
Look,
made.
I don't know. It's collateral damage at that point. So that was New Year's. We had.
Did you go
everyone
too
over.
hard on the Tito's?
No, guys, I'm still very sick. My body is not working. Like literally isn't working. So I can't eat really. And if I try, I get real sick. So, but hopefully soon it'll be fixed. Anyhoozle. So that was New Year's. We had everybody over to do Christmas stuff. Because Christmas we decided just to hang out as a family. And I was gifted, the Die Hard Christmas 'Twas the Night Before Christmas last year. And it even came with a John McClane on a window pane. And so I had that and it was hanging from my window pane.
Ooh, I like that.
It was really cool. And you know what? I think Die Hard's one of the best Christmas movies. And, you know, Brian may disagree with this, but I don't know if Grayson is quite old enough to watch it yet. So he hasn't watched it with me yet.
Wait a second.
But
So hold up. So Grayson has watched Scream, but not
Grayson,
Die
I don't
Hard.
think he's watched Scream.
Pet Cemetery. Sorry.
Yeah,
He
that was
watches
on
Pet
accident.
Sematary.
Okay, Scott, that was a mistake. All right.
He can watch Pet Cemetery, but he's not ready for Die Hard yet.
You want to know why he's not ready for Die Hard? Because there's a true meaning behind it. Okay, I want him to appreciate it for what it's worth. Anyways, so I'm like, gather around, children, before you go to bed. Let me read you the greatest tale of all time, greatest story that there was. So I'm going through it, and it's an animated book. Animated, that's not the right word. Illustrated. There we go. Got it. And just like a content creator, look there, that's what it looks like. See it? That's what the book looks like. Super cool. And since you can see things on podcasts, that's cool. The problem is,
but you can if you're a Patreon member.
Yes.
And if you don't know what Patreon is, just
Shameless
rewind it
plug.
a
little
5
bit.
minutes.
Here's the last page. And it was like, there were some parts that were a little questionable, but so is my parenting. This is the last page. Bearer bonds fluttered like fresh fallen snow as Holly embraced her blood-splattered bow.
Oh.
So Merry Christmas to all. Be kind to one another. And most of all, yippee-ki-yay, mother... I said trucker because I was thrown off. I was going with it, and I was like, yippee-ki-yay, mother... Ooh.
Wow.
Kids.
Classic Merry bedtime story. I love it.
Yes, but the thing is my kids are old enough to read, so they're like, it doesn't say trucker, it says... I'm like, yeah, you're right. Hooked on Phonics really worked for you, didn't it? So then, I tucked him in, and I'm like, yeah, Santa will be here any second. And they're like, Santa's not coming. John McClane, maybe, not Santa. So that was a Christmas Eve. I did a very good job. Yeah, that was my holidays.
Mary, I really think next year, can we record you reading that? No, I'm serious. As like a bonus episode, you can read. It'll be kind of like books on tape, but Die Hard, and all the parents can play it for their kids.
Yeah, I think they should. Right.
Gonna be honest with you, Mary. We're gonna have to write this down in the history books. That was the first time Scott has ever asked you to do something like fully clothed.
Wow, you're right. There was no innuendo of a sexy Santa, anything, or sitting on laps. I'm actually really proud of you, Scott.
I know. This is a milestone.
Season of growth. It's a new year, new him.
I must
whacking
be sick
spiders.
or something. I think I caught whatever Mary has, and now I'm delusional. I need
spider bite you.
I need my I need some electrolytes.
You need some pickle juice?
Yeah.
You can't have any.
I'll give you pickle juice.
Look, Winn-Dixie sells just containers of pickle juice. What?
That's how you know you're in the South.
That's what I was drinking, was just a straight container of pickle juice. But my electrolytes, they're great now. They're not
Yeah.
my line. I don't know.
Happy for your electrolytes.
This is Alex. Can you hear me? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I just turn this knob and... All right, there we go. I think I got it. Now it's time for Alex's last words. Please, no. Hold the applause, please. I just want to jump in here and tell my own story about a spider I had at my house. So my wife and I bought a house. This is a while ago. And we're in our house before we had kids. And we're sitting in the living room watching television. And I have vaulted ceilings. So my wife looks behind her because it's nighttime. And she sees a shadow on the wall by the vent kind of above her, behind her to above area, and she sees like a shadow. And so then she looks back towards the TV. Then she quickly looks back to double check to see if it was a spider, and it was a spider. It was a giant spider. It was about the size of my hand, and I'm a 6-foot man, so my hand is a normal size for a guy my size. And it was a really big spider, and it was above us, but also at an angle because we have vaulted ceilings. So it wasn't like right above us, but it was about I would say about 6.5, 7 feet above us. So I had to get a Swiffer. That's one of our tools we use to kill spiders in our house is a Swiffer without anything on it, just one of those hard ones. And so I grabbed a Swiffer and I smashed it on the ceiling. Luckily, it did not get away from me and did not run away, but that is what we happened to us. And my wife was scarred from that moment. She hates spiders. She hates snakes. She's afraid of snakes so bad that one time she saw a snake in the front yard. She ran in the house, closed the front door, and then slid the couch next to the door. And I go, "What is going on?" She goes, "There's a snake outside." I said, "And you thought I was going to open the door? What are you talking? What's happening over here?" And so she's afraid of spiders too, and that has scarred her. So, it hasn't happened recently, but probably for the next year and a half, she would sit on the couch and she would look at that spot to make sure there was no spider there during the day, at night. It's pretty funny. Think about it. I should probably print out a picture of a spider and tape it to that spot, or go grab a rubber spider and tape it to that spot so she can see it one night. Yeah, I'll give you an update later.
We're recording on January 4th. It is Man Flu Awareness Month. Happy Man Flu Awareness Month.
I am an ally.
Gosh.
I'm an ally.
I know you are.
Another very important holiday coming up. This is we're recording on January 4th. Not so important of a holiday up here up north. Actually, we condemn it up here, but I do want to wish all of my southern listeners a happy January 6th. That's coming up.
Happy Insurrection Day coming up.
Yeah.
Happy Insurrection Day. It is coming up.
Damn, I should have
celebrate.
We should have posted this episode on Insurrection Day. Since we always post on the holiday.
Damn. How are you spending your holiday, Scott? A raccoon hat, maybe?
No, I'm thinking the Buffalo Bill, thing with the horns and all that.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking of wearing maybe a bright pink shirt that's with American flags and guns. I don't know.
Wow, very festive.
Yeah,
very
I don't
festive.
know. We'll see.
Decorate your Christmas tree with guns and
I think I may wear some camo pants with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Ryan says in North Carolina they get January 6th off work. Banks are closed. It's a big deal over there.
Do you guys have banks there? Just a troll under a bridge.
Just buried in the backyard.
Coffee cans.
Anyway, however you're celebrating the No New Friends podcast wishes you a very safe holiday.
While we're on the topic, do you have any recommendations for our male listeners as to what helps you when you are suffering from the man flu? Any of your go-tos? We know Scott likes weird sorbet. He likes to have sherbet sorbet.
Yeah,
when he's sick.
Orange. The orange and lime sorbet. Yeah, I love the sherbet, and also just plenty of sleep and not having to do chores. That's what I like.
So when you say plenty of sleep, do you just naturally because you don't feel well sleep, or do you drug yourself up with NyQuil during the day? There's no
let me tell you
judgment.
something, Mary. Mary, let me tell you something. I hate being sick, but the best part about being sick is now I can take as much NyQuil as I want because there's a reason for it.
Yeah, you just chug it. You don't even measure it. Just drink it out of the bottle.
No, yeah,
like a
exactly.
Monster. Like Chris with Pepto-Bismol. You just
exactly.
Glug, glug, glug.
I purposely don't typically take melatonin or any sleep aids throughout the year, just so that when I am sick, I can just enjoy that NyQuil. Oh yeah,
that's a good ride.
Yeah, I mean if when I'm sick, if I'm offered sex or NyQuil, I'm going NyQuil every single time.
I don't even have to be sick. I'm going to take the NyQuil every time.
Well, you're a woman, and women don't like sex.
No, we just like sleep. We don't get that. We don't get a lot of sleep. Any other, Chris, what's your go-to when you're not feeling well?
Stop by Mary's, swing by Mary's, and pick up your pickle juice because electrolytes very important during Man Flu Awareness Month.
It's true.
Not sold up here in the north because we don't believe in pickle juice, but if you do need pickle juice, you can, like I said, stop by Mary's house. Other thing for Man Flu Awareness Month, just keep us all in mind. I mean, it's like, listen, women go through the menstrual cycle once a month, and we get it. It's not, we get it. Listen, we know. We go through this once a year, and it comes out of nowhere. Like, listen, you can plan towards...
He can't even say it himself.
You can plan towards the menstrual cycle. They have medicines, and they have, like, these things that help with cramps. There's nothing really out there. Scientists have not cracked the man flu. So it's like, please, keep us in your thoughts and prayers. Please attend to us, because, like, this happens once a year. And it's just like, just feel bad for us for once. Come on. Like,
for once. Yeah, you're right.
Like, you guys,
look,
yeah.
Look, we're here. I'm helping you. I'm holding the soapbox for you to stand on, just to give you a little more height so that people can see you. But we believe in you. We support you.
Mary, like, it's
Waffles
like, listen,
is here too.
Men have a lot of companies to run and countries to run. And it's like, when we're sick, it's really hard to do that.
Yeah,
and like, it's really hard to make.
What if you were to be like a little emotional because you didn't feel good? Like, oof, don't do that.
It's really hard to make more money than women when you're sick. Like, it's like to be able to have like all these advantages and stuff when you're not feeling well. It's really tough.
It's like a real a big blow to the ego, right? Yeah, I get it.
Speaking of blow,
it's just hard.
My go-to is sympathy head. Sympathy head always helps. My man flu.
It just,
when you said blow, I didn't think of that. I thought of a drug. I don't know why.
Of course,
either or.
The queen of fentanyl is back.
Because
the
queen were talking about NyQuil. Okay, Scott. God.
No, either or is, I think would suffice.
I'll take both.
Probably. Probably both. Just listen. Scott, take us out to break with "Eyes of the Angels" by Sarah McLachlan. I just need everyone to know how important this is.
You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in No New Friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Lizard people, the moon landing, birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Now, during the break, I was informed that Mary's got another story to tell. Now, if you remember, a couple of episodes ago, I don't know, in the 120 or something, don't dismantle the hermit crab. Mary was talking about the hermit crab. I forget the name of the what was the name
Hercules. R.I.P. Hercules. Yes.
Yeah, episode 118 or 119, I think it was. What
Kind of
what was it?
ironic.
Right? Well, and her and Mike dismantled this thing one piece at a time.
That is
while it
not
was still
true.
alive.
Stop. That is not what happened.
That was true.
We didn't want to touch it, so we had Waffles is still mourning. Okay, we didn't want. I didn't want to touch it, so we used tongs, but then it ripped his legs off.
Right.
Okay. Anyways,
So what happened with
here's
what's
what
up with
happened.
Kermit?
So Kermit was his roommate, and Kermit has been thriving. Kermit is a real rapscallion, actually, because he would climb up the little tree that was in the cage, and I thought, like, I couldn't find him. And I opened the lid, and there he was, right there in my friggin' face. Like, he was
Trying to
he's a real prankster. Well, he escaped in the most ultimate way. Let me tell you. So I get a text while I'm in class. I was in lab from Dexter. And this is during the Christmas break. So he's home.
So this was not, hey, Mom, I missed the bus. Or
no, he's
I'm
at home.
A weird bus stop. He's like, falling asleep.
Like quadruple texts me. So I know something. Either he can't find something that he needs right this second, like a specific snack, or something bad has happened. The house is on fire. There's no in between. That's what happened. And he said, Mom, I think Kermit is sick or dying. That's it.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, okay, buddy. Well, wait, okay. I'm so sorry. Why do you think that? Well, because he's white. Kermit is he's not from the mountains of Caucasia, okay? Kermit was not supposed to be white. Kermit is a red crab.
Snow crabs.
He's not, no, snow crabs are white. They're not either. And I was like,
real quick, it's a very interesting choice. With your love of crab legs, it's such an interesting choice of pets. Going with the hermit crab.
That was not my choice. Dexter, because by like little beach towns usually sell hermit crabs. I thought they would be selling them when we went on our girls' trip, so I told Dexter asked for some. I realized they didn't sell them anymore, so I had to order them on Amazon. That's what I get for getting hermit crabs from Amazon. I'm gonna rate them 4 out of 5 stars now. I don't know.
Well, at least you're not getting crabs from Polk County.
That's true. You probably weren't. You were. I feel like you may have picked up some from there before. No? Okay. Cut that one out. I don't know. Okay. Anyways. So he sends me a picture of what appears to be a shell and a very deceased crab. And I was like, it does not look like Kermit is feeling his best. So, give him a little mist. And when I get home, I'll assess him. I was supposed to do an orientation. My university hired me to do like student tutoring stuff. I was supposed to do my new onboarding.
Hold on. Wait a second. So you're a student, but you're tutoring other students?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Like a porno.
right, that's like Chris. That's like Chris giving like leadership or work advice to anybody.
No, because here's why. Because I've done the college thing before, and there's like other classes that are things that I've taken before, and I already know. So the things that are not nursing relating.
Hold up, I've put together a model car. That doesn't mean I could be a professor at ITT Tech. Like, what is going on here?
I think anyone could be a professor at ITT Tech.
Are they around still? I'm not really sure.
To be completely honest with you.
I don't know. It's like, it's not, I'm not a professor. I am actually a faculty member though now, but I'm not a professor.
Stop it.
They sign up.
What school is this? Is this like a clown school? What is going on?
Wow, I am really offended. You hear that? Waffles isn't standing for it either. I'm really offended. Okay, back to the story. So I was going to do my orientation.
Mary's a professor at Spoon University.
First of all, that is our favorite university. So I was going to do it on campus, but I rushed home because Dexter was freaking out. Oh my god, was it romantic?
Real romantic.
So I rush home and I'm like, oh god, this crab is not doing so well. And I picked him up. I did it. I picked him up and he was moving. He was alive.
Oh.
He just wasn't feeling all that well. He's a little under the weather. And I noticed he had been burrowing into his substrate. That's what they live in. And so I told Dexter, you know what? Let's just make sure we take tip-top care of Kermit. And Dexter was like, well, Mom, that ball is in your court because I'm going to my dad's for the week. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Don't worry. I'm basically a nurse. I got this covered. So the next day before Dexter goes to his dad's, Kermit took a turn for the worse. He looked real bad.
Uh-oh.
And I picked him up and I was
that
like,
from tonguing him?
No, I picked him up. I did it. I just went in there. And there was like nothing to his body. And I was like, buddy, I think Kermit's passed. And he was really upset. So I was like, do you want a shell? Do you want to keep a shell? And he said, yeah. So I shucked the body out. He molted. The crab was in the shell. It was just his exoskeleton hanging out. That's what we saw the whole time. He wasn't sick. He was fine. He was thriving.
Whoa.
He was surviving. He was shedding and becoming anew. He was like a phoenix rising from the fire.
New year, new me.
Yeah, kind of. So Dexter goes to his dad and Kermit dies. He leaves and he still died.
How? What?
I don't know what happened. He molted. He looked fine. And then he died.
Well, yeah, because you stopped feeding him because you thought he was dead.
No,
Plus, you
I didn't.
handled him with the tongs.
I didn't handle him with the tongs. I actually gave him a wonderful, healthy diet because he had just molted. So I was like, man, we got to give him his electrolytes. He's probably feeling a little rough.
I haven't been this confused in a story about whether or not
Anne
something is dead or alive since Anne Heche passed away.
It's Schrodinger's
or not.
hermit crab.
Or yes.
So then he was like, all right, he's doing great. He leaves and goes to his dad. The hermit crab dies. And I'm like, oh my God.
Like for real? Or do we think?
He was dead. He was definitely dead.
How do we know?
So how do you know if, so I picked up the shell and I was like, Kermit, don't mess with me, boy. Like, do not play me again. And I gave him a little shake, nothing. If you put them in a little bit of water.
So shaking the crab probably killed it.
He laid there and I realized he wasn't even fully in the shell. And one of his legs was kicked up. And so I was like, maybe he just needs a nap. Maybe it's and so I put him back in the substrate.
An eternal nap?
Yeah, it's the longest nap. And he was still in the same position the next morning. And so I was like, I believe Kermit has this, he's expired. So I went to pick up the shell.
Mary, you've been in the same position for 3 days, just laying in the bed.
But if you put me in a little bit of water or a little bit of pickle juice, I'll move. He didn't.
Just gotta hydrate you.
Yeah, I picked up the shell, and when I picked it up,
he
the dead body just fell out. He did. The body fell right out.
Oh, man.
Everything intact. Have you ever seen the back end of a hermit crab? It's the most disgusting thing. It looks like a scorpion. It's awful. So then,
so you have to get them wet. That's how Scott determines on whether or not his dogs are alive.
Oh wow!
Stop. Oh, didn't want to tell Dexter because I didn't want to ruin his holiday. I don't want him to know. And I was also embarrassed. Like, I felt really guilty that he entrusted me with a life. He was a crab dad. He was proud to be a crab dad, and I took that away from him.
Did he not learn from the first one? You dismantled one piece at a time.
I didn't mean to.
Scott's a crab dad as well. He's got how many millions of crabs do you have, Scott?
Jesus. All right. Well, R.I.P.
So, listen,
R.I.P.
it gets
Kermit.
worse, guys.
Oh, there's more.
Last time we did a ceremony and we FaceTime family in. It was a beautiful thing. There was a playlist and candles. Buried him on the back of the property. Dexter wasn't there, so I couldn't do that. So I took the same little Tupperware thing with water and his little sponge, and I put his body in there because we were going to bury him. If you don't do anything with its body for like 5 minutes, he was growing mold and spores within seconds.
Oh,
and
God.
so I know.
It's like
so
the Walking Dead of hermit crab.
Listen, I was trying to do. I didn't know what to do. So
Kids are like, I watched that on TV last night.
I threw him away, and I lied to. I hope Dexter doesn't hear this. I lied to him and said that we buried him next to Hercules.
Oh, so like when it's not moving a lot, it just starts growing. Like I guess it just starts growing mold and stuff. That's what. Yeah, I guess that's what Scott's penis looks like.
Well, it is a mushroom, a fungi.
Jesus.
I don't know. Anyway, so there's a plot next to Hercules for our boy Kermit, R.I.P. Thoughts and prayers.
It's the tomb of the unknown hermit crab.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but here's the thing, guys. I've kept 5 children alive. So, like, I feel like...
I don't know how. I don't know
good.
how with all the hermit crabs you're killing.
I hope Peter doesn't listen to this.
Also,
actually,
we don't know how old these crabs were when we got them. I like to think they were senior citizens.
Like I said, send it back to Amazon. You can return anything.
I can return the shell and be like, it died. Give me more.
All right, you guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
I don't know, maybe.
Every week, Ryan brings us 2 news stories. One is from Florida, one is from New Jersey, and it's up to us to figure out which one is which. Take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan, coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom, located this week in the woods behind my house. I thought I'd take Scott out to do some hunting and some other manly things, since he's secretly been complaining to me about low testosterone and erectile dysfunction issues. I thought maybe bringing him out to do some manly stuff might help him with that. He really wasn't lying when he told that hot chiropractor, this almost never happens. On the way back here, an albino Grinch hobbit came out of the woods and approached me. I thought he was going to tell me that his wife is pregnant, but instead he told me that he'd been practicing witchcraft and that he is a medium now, and I wasn't going to live a very long life. I told him, if you keep talking to me like that, you won't live a very long life either, and punted his ass back into the woods. We've been back here for a few hours and haven't seen anything. I think it's because Scott's been loudly eating Cheetos the whole time we've been out here. Wait, I see something now. Whoa, Scott, what are you doing?
Well, it was a 6-pointer.
Scott, we've been over this. Man, that wasn't even a deer. That was a squirrel. Well, let me go look at it. Geez, this thing's in worse shape than Hercules the hermit crab. While I get this cleaned up, let's get into this week's Florida Man or Jersey Man. And in our first story, a man is arrested for exposing himself on a Greyhound bus. And in our second story, a landlord is charged with demanding sex from tenants.
All right.
Both of those could be Scott.
No, okay, but was it a kennel or were they tenants? Because that's how we would know whether it was Scott or not.
Oh my God. All right, so we got Greyhound bus or sex with tenants. I'm going to say sex with tenants is Jersey, and then Greyhound bus is Florida.
Yeah, because have you heard the cost of rent in Florida is just very high. So I don't know. I think the sex for rent is in Florida because they could get away with it, and the other one is Jersey.
Yeah, so Greyhound definitely gonna be Florida because we don't use Greyhounds very often up here because we are not Greyhound people. Other one, demanding sex from landlord tenants, definitely could be a Jersey thing.
I don't know. I'm going I'm going opposite, guys.
All right, let's find the answer.
So our first story was from Florida, where Charlotte County police arrested a 44-year-old man for exposing himself on a Greyhound bus. This reminds me of the time that Scott was almost arrested for exposing himself to a Greyhound. That means our second story is from New Jersey, where a 75-year-old landlord demanded sex from his tenants in exchange for discounts on rent. Well, who do you have to get a house like Scott's? And in other news, I found a story in Virginia where 3 toddlers were hospitalized after eating THC-laced goldfish. Coincidentally, the next week, they were the coolest kids in the daycare. That's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Listen, I don't know if it's the alcohol or not, but when he said THC laced goldfish, I thought he was talking about actual goldfish. Like, well, that's a crazy story. And then I realized it was the snack.
You know what? I thought it was THC, like real goldfish too, until you just said that.
That was that never disappoints.
No, I know.
Ever.
I know.
What what are the odds that Hercules was also brought up in this? I mean,
I know.
The stars aligned.
Sometimes I just call Ryan and just ask him to read me headlines if I'm having a bad day.
All right, Chris, you got any cliff notes?
As a matter of fact, I do, Scott. This was a very controversial episode. I do have a lot of notes on it. So in the beginning of this episode, Scott talked about how much he used to like spiders. So, unrelated, but most people sneak candy and drinks into the movie theater. For Spider-Man No Way Home, Scott snuck in lotion and a box of Kleenex. So during the whole debacle of the spider in the bedroom, Scott admitted that he lied to Rachel. To us, not to Rachel, of course. And because he had to take advantage of the situation. Respect, I understand it. But other lies that Scott has told his wife include, I donated my hair. It will grow back. So then Mary talked about how she projectile vomited everywhere on New Year's Eve. Scott, you could see he was visibly impressed by this because he hasn't been able to project bodily fluid for years. Mary brought up Die Hard, which is again a touchy subject for Scott because he can't even live hard.
Oh my god!
I do want to address something in all seriousness. I've been seeing it online on our Discord server. People have been trying to cancel me for my man flow awareness jokes for poking fun at the menstrual cycle, and I did want to apologize and let everyone know that menstrual jokes are not funny. Period.
Oh,
I think I used that joke before, but I need to do it again. So lastly, listen, we're a week into 2023 and we've already had some celebrity deaths. So I did want to honor these people that did die. First, I just wanted to acknowledge the passing of 3 6 Mafia rapper Gangsta Boo. Now just called Boo. Then we have Fred White from Earth, Wind, and Fire. It's not clear whether he identified as Earth, Wind, or Fire yet, so we are still waiting on the name of the new band. It could just be Earth, Wind. It could just be Wind and Fire. We're not sure yet. And then lastly, almost Jeremy Renner.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness!
Almost. Listen,
almost.
So
Yeah.
maybe his leg.
Yeah.
Maybe his leg. We're not sure yet.
Yeah, he gave a thumbs up
Yeah,
on the
prayer-
Twitter today.
Yeah, prayers to
Thoughts
him.
and prayers.
Pain tolerance is very high.
Yes. Well, he's an Avenger.
Yeah.
He is. Those are my cliff notes.
Thank you, Chris.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark, much of
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of Diz His, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
What's coming up on Diz His?
Speaking about dying, Scott, when I'm planning vacation, I want to die. And it wasn't until recently that I found out that you could use a travel agent to do that. And me wanting to die is very minimal now. You know, there's traffic, grocery shopping, stuff like that makes me want to die. But booking vacations, not even a factor anymore. And that's because I go to sandpipervacations.com. I contact Nick, who is the owner. I also tell him the No New Friends podcast sent me because when I do that, he knows that the No New Friends podcast sent me. But anyway, I fill out the free quote. I fill out the free quote. And on there, it asks how you heard of us. That's where I put that. But listen,
hold up. Let's recap, okay, over the last 3 episodes.
Sure, go ahead.
Nick does Christmas shopping for you.
Yes.
Okay? Nick speaks French.
Almost fluent in French. Almost
Yep.
fluent in
and
French.
now
I've got an update
Nick
from
is
him.
a mental health counselor.
Yes, that's what I'm.
Your words, not mine. But yeah, I
He
mean,
could probably teach at the university too.
some people are calling him a miracle worker. A lot of people are calling him a miracle worker.
Very fine people, I'm sure. Very fine people. So many of them.
Find out yourself at sandpipervacation.com. And all jokes aside, why the hell would you want to plan a vacation when someone's offering to do it for you for free and going to save you money? He's booking my Alaskan vacation for me right now. And guess what? I'm telling my family I did it. Go ahead. Contact Nick.
He'll keep your secret.
Just take the credit. Yeah. He's
a
listen. He's a very good secret keeper. Trust me. I've told him a lot of incriminating things. I'm not arrested yet. Listen, speaks French.
So now
buys
he's a
Christmas
confidant.
presents. Very good secret keeper. All around great guy. Sandpipervacations.com. Tell him that a New Friends podcast sent you. And I don't know if you listened to Diz's recently, but I was plugging Sandpiper Vacations, and I said, tell him the and I
heard that. Yes, I was like, yes.
Yeah, which was pretty funny. It's just wired into my brain now. So shout out to you, Nick. Shout out to Sandpiper Vacations. I trust no one else with booking my vacations other than Sandpiper, in all seriousness. Now, what are we doing this week on Diz's? Great question. We are doing Bill Nye the Science Guy. Gonna be honest with you, I had no idea. I've never seen Bill Nye the Science Guy before.
What?
It just wasn't something that was.
I guess because you're so
too
young.
young.
Yeah.
Do you know Mr. Wizard?
Mr. Wizard's from the 50s, bro.
Who the hell is Mr. Wizard?
He was
With
on
Dinky
Nickelodeon.
Donk.
He was like
With
before
what?
Bill Nye the. He
With
was before
what?
Bill Nye the Science Guy. He was on
Who
Nickelodeon.
is Dinky Donk?
I don't know
Well,
who Dinky Donk.
besides Scott's nickname for an extremity, it is the mascot of Mr. Wizard. And when I say Mr. Wizard, listen, I know we have a lot of listeners in the South. I'm not talking about the Klan. I am talking about a scientist that had a
too close
show.
to January 6th, man. You can't.
Yeah, I know. That's why I wanted to make that. Honestly, that's why I wanted to make things clear. Mr. Wizard and Winky Dink. It's not Dinky Donk. Winky Dink.
Winky Dink is almost worse.
Was his, yeah.
This must be a different Mr. Wizard. Was this in the back room at the Blockbuster? I don't know this Mr. Wizard because I used to watch
Scott.
Mr. Wizard. There was no Winky Dong.
Again, Scott, was this a recruiting video that you were watching? You're from Florida.
Maybe
Mr.
you don't
Wizard-
recognize him because he had his hood on.
Oh my god.
All right, I think we should probably just be done, guys. I don't know. It's not.
So
good.
Scott calls him Mr. Wizard. I just call them racists.
All right.
And I just call him neighbor. I don't know.
If you want to learn more about Mr. Wizard, if you want to learn more about Bill Nye the Science Guy, tune into this week. It's actually, honestly, it's a very interesting history. Bill Nye is actually a very cool individual, and I really enjoyed learning about him because I had no idea who the hell he was.
All right, check out Diz His on all social media. That's DizHis65 or DizHis.com. Also, check out all of our friends' podcasts. We've got the Nerd Archive podcast, which is that geeky podcast. They talk about all the things they used to get beat up for in high school for liking. Studio 21 podcast. It's a baseball podcast. Remy's Roundtable, the theme park podcast. And then, of course, Diz His. Did I forget? Big Beautiful Diz. Can't forget about Big Beautiful Diz, the YouTube channel.
Oh, hey, Scott.
Yes.
I got one more. Can I
What?
plug one?
Please do. I know what you're going to plug. Do it.
Our friend, my dad.
Yes.
Now on Spotify, you can listen to A Mental Health Moment with Dr. Edward Samaro. Just a quick
Oh,
little
I need more than a
snippet.
moment.
But yeah, find him on Spotify.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep, check them out as well. If you'd like to connect with us, all of our social media links, check out our sweet merchandise, join our clubhouse, become a Patreon member, and watch these train wrecks live as they happen. That's www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. On behalf of Mary, Chris, Alex, Game Master Ryan, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.